My name's Father John Arnold, and I'm a pastor in the diocese, and I've been ordained almost 21 years now. I grew up here in Tucson. I was one of 8 kids, and it was a very loving, very Catholic family. I first thought about being a Catholic priest when I was in middle school at St. Peter and Paul, and I was supposed to do a book report, and I went upstairs and to find out what I was going to do my report on. And I saw this saint named John, so I read the book, and it was St. John Vianney, who I always like to point out is the only parish priest who has ever been canonized for being a parish priest. Lots of lawyers canonized, only one parish priest. But that got me thinking about it. My dad and mom encouraged me. And out of high school, I went to the seminary for about a year and a half. But it just required more maturity than I had to offer at that time in my life. And so I finished up at the U of A, and I went to law school, clerked for a federal judge out of law school, and then went with a local law firm where after 6 or 7 years, I guess it was, I became a partner there, and I think had a pretty good reputation as a litigator in Tucson. But a friend of mine died, and he was my age. We'd been very good friends in high school. And it made me think again about what I wanted to do with my life. And so when I was about 34 years old, I began to revisit my decision to leave the seminary back when I was, I guess, 19. And I had to find someone to talk to, so I talked to a very good local priest, Father Bill Steger, who's now dead. I still pray for him. Just a really good guy. And all we did was talk about what I thought I wanted to do with my life, because in so many ways, I seemed to have so much going for me, and I did. But there was something missing. And so at age 38, I entered the seminary again, and I got up into this little room, and my bedroom in my house that I owned was bigger than the seminary room I had. And I thought, oh, what the hell am I doing here? But 4 years later, I had really changed a lot. What I thought I wanted in life and what I really wanted in life. And so then I was ordained when I was 42 years old. You know, I think the best thing about going back to the seminary when I was in my 30s and had been successful in a profession was that the church really needed mature men who mostly knew who they were, right? And were willing to walk with Jesus through their life and serve people. And I've got to say, I made more money probably in a week than I make in a month as a parish priest. Actually, probably more than that. I had a Corvette. I had all this stuff. I never had the sense of fulfillment that being a parish priest gave me. It's maybe the hardest thing I've ever done, but also the best, because I think so often those two things go together. There has to be some sacrifices that you make to be a parish priest. I think I could have been a good husband and a good father, and because I love family, I had such a great family. But what I became convinced of after I read this book by St. Therese of Lisieux, that real happiness is only going to be found if you learn to give your life away, and you only do that by learning to love other people. You can't always control, especially as a parish priest, how people think about you. You can control how it is that you love them. So my thought about what I always tell older guys who are maybe rethinking the path they're taking in life, that you actually got to find somebody to talk about it with, because I don't think you really can figure out what you think until you hear yourself say it to another person who takes you seriously. So if you're ever thinking about maybe taking a different direction in life and serving people, I would really say take a really hard look at whether or not you are being called to being a parish priest. You got to love Jesus, you got to believe he rose from the dead, and you want to take care of his people. And so if you have any interest in it, you ought to call.